The audio is going to be really bad on this. Well, it's been quite a while. Hello, my name is Stop Chris Films, or just Chris. I'm sure a majority of people know that, especially considering that most of my channel's views have come from already subscribed users. I'm also sure that most of you know a majority of my content has been LEGO stop motion videos. And on top of that, you might see that the last video I uploaded to this channel was over 3 years ago. And I would say it's probably the best I've made to date because, let's face it, most of my videos are stinkers. At least before that late 2018 mark. Even after that, there's a lot of flaws. So I'm sure a lot of people are questioning why I'm making this video in the first place. Why am I making a return that isn't a stop motion or literally any sort of story driven video? Well, it's simple. As of February 7th, this channel has turned 10 years old, which means I made this channel during a classic period of YouTube, which also means I made this channel when I was 10 years old, which also means that I made some pretty cringe ass videos at the start, which also means. Okay, so in all seriousness, besides that, this video isn't going to serve as a history lesson for my channel or be some review going over my greatest accomplishments. Does my channel even have any of those? The 5-year anniversary video I made in 2020 pretty much serves the purpose of being a history lesson anniversary video, so I'm not going to be doing that a second time, and there really hasn't been anything too new anyway. What I am going to do, though, is kind of talk about the future of this channel and why there hasn't been any new uploads since September 2021. So, my last upload, Hotline Lego 2, was released during my final year of high school, my senior year. And that was back when I lived in South Florida. Quick little fun fact, that was released the night before my then annual trip to Horror Nights that I would do each year. That was when I could only go for one weekend a season before I started going every night. So, to stay on track, that was the only video I released during my last year of high school. And there's a few reasons for that. For one, I had a good portion of free time, but when I didn't, I did have some important stuff to get done, like finishing high school strong, picking out colleges, my job at the time. And during my free time, I really just wanted to enjoy it before being more busy because of college. And there were also other hobbies I focused on, such as live action filmmaking, where I tried a lot to continue filming a film I started in February 2021 that still isn't complete to this day. But there is one factor that really stands out as to why there wasn't a Lego production after that. And that was simply just because I lost interest in brick filming. Late 2020 to mid 2021 was my peak in terms of interest in brick filming as well as Lego collecting. But in late 2021 and after, I just didn't have that interest anymore. There wasn't a spark anymore. And that definitely impacted other planned projects I had. So, if anyone recalls, I planned more than one follow up to Alfred Takes a Hit, as well as some other side projects. But my loss of interest ultimately led to the follow ups being merged to form one idea, that being Alfred Comes to a Quit, which, in my opinion, is far better than any of the ideas before that I had come up with for the follow ups. But the side projects, though, I just ended up scrapping. I didn't even begin animating during my senior year because I didn't have an interest in brick filming. So, come the end of summer 2022, it was time for me to begin my first year of college. I put a lot of focus on the work that came with that. However, at the time, I was going to a college kind of close to my home, so I was capable of animating technically, but I didn't. However, in early 2023, I had a burst of creativity and I finished the script for Alfred Comes to a Quit, which I put a lot of effort into and wrote it in mind with being my last ever brick film and video on Stop Chris Films. And I still think it's a good finale to my channel. But can you take a guess as to how I felt after writing it? You guessed it, I didn't want to animate. So, behind the scenes during everything, I really didn't like where I was at the time. I didn't like the college I was going to. I had also had enough of where I was living at the time. I had been living in South Florida for most of my life. and there is no opportunity there for the work field I want to go into, and it is really just a shitty, crappy place to live. So, I made the right decision. I transferred colleges and moved the fuck out of South Florida to good old Central Florida, Orlando to be specific. And I can safely say I love living here a lot more than I did in South Florida. Aside from college, I also work here, and I've moved pretty much everything here. So this is literally where my life is now. With that said, I did not bring every single thing with me because where I live currently, I do not have the room for that. I have 75% of my things, I'd say. The other things, which are not vital to me, are stored at my family's home in South Florida. One of those things is my Lego collection. My film equipment, however, I do have up here. Now, I'm sure you're wondering why I'm talking about all this, other to inform you all about what's been going on with me ever since. Pretty much not only do I not have an interest in brick filming, I literally can't since my Lego collection is still with my family. So, with everyone caught up on what's been going on with my life ever since then, I'll answer some questions that might be on your mind. First question: what do you do now? Well, I go to college, I work, I'm also, job hunting as I speak. I have many new and current hobbies, such as live action filmmaking, cosplay, writing, working out, going to horror nights, film, just to name some of many of my hobbies that I have right now. Question two: what happened to that Hotline Miami inspired film you had been working on? So, there's been a lot of delays, obviously, ever since I started working on that, mainly relating to the availability of the cast. I started the film in high school, specifically my junior year, and now that me and many members of the cast live far apart, it's even harder to finish it. I'd still love to complete it, and I even still have motivation to complete that film, but I don't know if I will. Because, like I said, me and many members of the cast live very far apart, and also because there are other film related projects I want to focus on to get my foot in the door, to potentially get better opportunities. However, what I might do is release the unfinished film. Question three: do you ever plan on living in South Florida ever again? Absolutely fucking not. I am very confident in saying I would rather die than live there ever again. Question four: what are you going to do with your Lego collection? Well, I'm definitely not getting rid of it. I might sell some of the sets I don't care for anymore, but definitely not the ones that hold a lot of value to me, which is most of them. Like my 2006 Batcave, for example, I will be keeping that. However, something like the Lego Movie President Business's Lair, I might sell that. I plan on moving the collection out of my family's home when I have more space to store it properly. Question 5: do you think Alfred Comes to a Quit will ever be released? And what is the future of your channel? This is probably the biggest question on your mind if there are any. And that's why I saved it for last. If I'm going to be honest, I don't know if Alfred Comes to a Quit will ever see the light of day. And if anything, I lean more toward Alfred Comes to a Quit will never be released. I've simply moved on to bigger things in life that I'm more passionate about. I don't have an interest in Burke filming anymore. It's a thing of the past now. Hell, I remember back in middle and high school, every other year, I would have a burst of motivation to make brick films pretty much all year long. I have not felt that since 2021. I have a bigger passion for making live action films now. And when I'm not working on school or doing other work, I'm actually working on cosplay as compared to working on brick films like in 2021. I know this is going to be pretty disappointing to some, and I'm sorry to disappoint. Deep down, I do want to release Alfred Comes to a Quit and give my channel the proper conclusion. But if I do it without motivation, it's just going to feel like a chore, and it more than likely won't be that good. As for the future of my channel, like I said, the plan was to release Alfred Comes to a Quit and be done. The plan for the live action film was actually for it to be uploaded to a separate channel, which is where I would upload my projects from then on. And that's still the plan if I end up releasing the unfinished film. Other than this video, I don't really plan on uploading much else to this channel, other than this video and potentially one or two other videos. Now, what are those videos, you might ask? One of them would be Alfred Comes to a Quit if it ends up getting completed. As for the other, I've stood by a principle for some time. You finish what you started. You don't start things and don't finish them. And even though I don't plan on making Alfred Comes to a Quit anytime soon, I can't help but want to finish what I started in some way. So the other video would be an update video, specifically with a link in the description to the Alfred Comes to a Quit script, for you all to see what would be the finale to my channel. I haven't decided on this yet, but I do want to reach some sort of satisfaction. For the few of you watching this video, this is where I'm going to invite you to comment down below if you would like that. If you don't, well, comment that as well. If there's another solution that you think might be good too, comment that. For the few of you who have stuck with this channel since its creation, thank you for sticking along the way for the very wacky ride that this channel has taken. For those who have just joined the ride mid-trip and at other points during it, thank you as well. I've always appreciated the support from everyone who's given it. It's been quite a journey since this channel's start 10 years ago, and this journey seems to have almost reached its end with a new one that has begun. But for now, this is Stop Chris Film signing off. Should I decide to release the script, there will be a video for that. Thank you, and good night.